Hi, we will be starting in 2 minutes. Till that time, please check if you are able to access the chat option where you can ask questions. If you have, you can try typing in the chat window and see if it's working fine for you because some of you informed that they are not able to access the chat window. So if you are, you can try. Okay. Thanks for confirming, Ruchika. You guys all charged up for your resume writing, which is the first step towards your great professional career. Okay, we'll wait for 2 more minutes before we start. Meanwhile, you are free to share which college are you from, which course. This will help us to know who all are joining from which location. And feel free to type in your question in the chat window anytime. Great, thanks for confirming, Shweta. Okay, so Shraddha, are you able to hear me in the YouTube live? Ruchika, Shweta, am I audible? Okay, good to know about you, Ruchika. Yeah, Shraddha, I think there was some glitch. It's taking the Google Meet. I don't know why because I never added the same. And last time, what happened? There were hundreds of students who were waiting outside, so we had to opt for YouTube Live this time so that students can join. Last time there were about 150 students were waiting because Google Meet free version only allows 100 participants to join at a time. Thanks, Navneet, for confirming. Please do type in your college name and the course. And feel free to type in if you have any questions right now. Uh, we may anticipate some questions once you get some visibility. Till then, if anything is there, you can type in and we'll try to answer as many questions as we can. Okay, thanks for confirming, Shweta, Navneet, Shraddha. Okay, Panchwati College, Nasik, PBA. Okay, it's 2 minutes over. Let's get started. Good evening and welcome all to our second session on resume writing, which is about the key tips for the freshers and not for the professional. That's what we're going to discuss today. And thank you all for joining in from different locations, from north to south and west to east. All locations, we had hundreds of participants. Let's see how many end up joining. Usually, we see that if 1,000 students subscribe, not more than 10% join. So let's see how many joins today. But in our first session, there were about hundreds of students who were waiting outside. So instead of Google Meet, this time we thought of moving to YouTube Live. You don't have the option to talk, but since most of you are habitual of only typing in the chat window, so we thought of this could be the best platform for us to use for the future sessions so that most of you can join and you can also refer to this at the later stage, which is not possible in the Google Meet. Okay. Are you able to see our uh, screen with resume writing professional tips for fresher? Please confirm in the chat window. Okay, something about me. I'm Rajiv Jain, and I'm the founder of Rising Education Society, which we call it Race Society, and we have formed a Race Career Club, which is with an intent of raising your career level, right? From where you are today to the next level, whether it's about resume writing, it's about interview preparation, knowing about the jobs opportunities, or what all jobs you are eligible for, right? These are some of the things we have planned. And maybe once you are into the corporate world, right, then also you need to raise your career at different stages. You need to work with bosses, you need to work with manager, your appraisal, managing office things. All these things will come at a later stage. So, and we plan to cover everything under this umbrella, which is Raise Career Club. I've written few books. Currently, I'm working as an agile coach with a software company. I've delivered more than 100,000 hours of training in 200 plus colleges across the world. I'm India's first and only MASCOM certified master trainer for technical writing. And I'm trying to promote technical writing and agility profession in the academia. Not many colleges, rather handful of colleges are offering this part. And yes, do have a lot of experience in fresher hiring, and this is the reason I'm trying to share my experiences with you. Again, these are my experiences. Each individual has their own preferences, own persona, and own way of hiring a student or recruiting a student. I'll be sharing my experiences, and most of them, which may differ from others, but still, most of them are valid for most of the freshers. Some of the organization I have worked with includes DBS Bank, Sutherland Global Services, Infosys, Wipro, US Bank, Royal Bank of Scotland. These are the organization I've worked. So mostly into the IT, and for some time I was with Hindustan Times also in the marketing part. That's a time when I started my career almost 30 years back. All of you might not be even born at that time when I started my first job. These are some of the colleges where I have delivered the sessions with MDI Gurgaon, Seneca College, Canada. I am Rohtak, multiple colleges in University of Delhi, uh, some Nigeria, Canada-based organizations also, and these are some of the organizations we have delivered multiple sessions, not just for the students but for faculty and senior leaders within the colleges. So, what are we here today for? uh, my plan is to cover something that help you to bring your own potential on the paper. The paper is the resume. Okay, how you can bring your own potential on the paper, how you can actually write your talent, experience, knowledge, skills, education, accomplishment confidently and on that particular piece of paper, why it is important, what all things. We'll try to cover everything in today's session. Okay, and some of the do's and don'ts which most of you don't get a chance to know about, right? You might have attended some sessions in your college, uh, and you have some input from them. So see whether my input or feedback is different or align with them. There could be some differences, there could be some similarities. uh, let's see how it goes. So whenever we talk about resume, what is it the first thing that comes to your mind? What is the first thing that comes to your mind? Maybe you can type in the chat window. What is the first thing that comes to your mind when you talk about a resume? First thing which comes to your mind. Anybody want to reply in the chat window? Anyone want to do that? I've created a poll. See if you're able to access. You can vote in the poll also. We'll wait for 1 minute. Okay, so those who are opting for others, please type in the chat window when they say others, what exactly they have in mind with others. So please do type in. Okay, we'll wait for a few more seconds. If they are opting for others, what they have in mind. Okay, so majority of you targeting about sample resume and template. That's the only thing which comes to your mind, right? And I was expecting the same reply. More than 85% opted for sample resume and template. That's what the world we are into. Okay, and sometimes you end up copying everything from this just by replacing your name, father's name, and address and contact details. So sometimes during the campus recruitment, we also make a statement, right? During a campus drive, except father name and surname, your name and father name, everything is same because we see many similar things during in the resume part. So this is what we are referring to. But is this a right way? Are you actually able to showcase or present real skills, real potential, the real thing that you have just by copy pasting or by looking at the sample resume or the template? Chances are no. What is the way out? How you can do that? Right? Have you been trained properly to write the resume? Has somebody guided you, handholded you? Chances are not. They might have conducted a session, but they might have not groomed you properly to write the words. Right? It's easy for me to call out these are the sections, but what to write under those sections, that is a task, not at all easy. Okay, so we'll share some examples today on what you can write, what you cannot write. Yes, Shraddha, you are right. It's about putting your skills achievement in a paper. What to add further to it? It's not just about putting your skills and achievement. It's about relevant skills and achievement. And we'll discuss the word relevant. We'll discuss this. You will use this word multiple times. The relevant part, right? And that's the first thing uh, I expected, right? Template sample. That's the first thing. There are few people who look for the copy paste. You have the sample and you start copy pasting from data from each other. That's what you do. And then a confusion what to write, what not to write. Though you are copy pasting, but still there is a confusion what to write, how to write, how much to write, what not to write. Do you also have this kind of confusions? Like, what others want to see in your resume? Are you actually highlighting those? You always ever had a confusion on what to write, what not to write in a resume? And are you able to even think from the recruiter's perspective what they want to read in your resume? Right? Maybe yes, maybe no. Some of you might be able to, but most of you may not be able to think that perspective. And maybe you can reply. Did you ever had any such confusion on what to write, what not to write, how much to write, and whom to approach to take help on this part? Any such confusion, you can type in the chat window. We'll try to things. As per my experience of interacting with the thousands of students of 200 plus colleges across the world, resume writing and interview preparation, these are the most neglected aspects of any college, any, right? Be it uh, A level colleges, a B grade or C grade, whatever grade you are into, this is the most neglected part, especially in India. In rest of the world, they do put a lot of emphasis on this, but in India, this is the most neglected aspect. Do you also feel so? Is it the most neglected aspect? Is it really important? Why? Why is it really actually important? Why a resume is important for you? Any idea on this part? Have you ever thought this? What exactly is a resume? A formal document highlighting your relevant summary of past experiences, internship, your college projects, preference is the live projects, not a dummy project. But if you don't have the live project, add the dummy projects. Your academic and professional qualifications, your accomplishments, achievements, again the relevant one. Your skills, your knowledge, your tools which you are exposed to, some of your competencies, some of your extracurricular activities, your personal interest, and the highlighted part, the relevant one. Most of you might be confused what does this relevant word means here. I give an example on this part, relevant part. Um, if you have ever applied for multiple jobs at a given point of time, are you sending the same resume for different job titles? As an example, if you are from software background and you are applying for computer science and you're applying for a software developer and software tester profile, are you sending the same resume? If you are applying for marketing job or an HR job, are you sending the same resume? If you're applying for administration post versus logistic post, are you applying for the same resume? If yes, then this is the biggest problem in your resume. A marketing profile may not be relevant for an HR and vice versa. So you should be very careful about the relevancy of your resume and how you can make your resume relevant, interesting, compelling from the recruiter's point of view so that your profile gets shortlisted and you get interview calls for that. Right? And if your resume is relevant, you are highlighting the relevant things in your resume, things will be much easier for you. It will be very easy for the recruiter to shortlist your profile, provided it is relevant. And this is how to make your resume relevant. That's a task, not easy, right? But it's not that difficult also. But you have to spend some time to make your resume relevant. Okay, continuing on this, right? I'm saying a resume is a marketing document. Any idea why? Think of two different cases. There's a campus drive and there's an off campus drive. You are applying directly to the organization. During the campus drive, a recruiter might be asking your resume when you are at the interview table. But in an off campus drive, when you're directly applying to the organization, you're before your resume, there is another document which is called cover letter. Your cover letter is the first interface with the recruiter. After this, the resume. Only if these two are catchy enough or have relevant things from the recruiter point of view, only then your profile gets shortlisted for the interview. You might be a topper in your college, you might be presenting a lot of workshop seminars in your college, you might be doing many great things. But if your resume is not describing all the things the way the recruiter want to read, chances are your profile will not, not get shortlisted for the post of your for your dream post. And if your profile is not shortlisted, you will not get interview call. And if your interview call is you're not getting interview call, how will you get the job? So your resume or your cover letter is the first interface with the prospective recruiter. So that's why it is a marketing document where you are selling your knowledge skills to the prospective recruiter. If this is not proper, nothing will kickstart. This has to be in shape for you to impress the recruiter. And these days, many recruiters are using application tracking system, which are the softwares, to shortlist the resume. How and what you need to do so that your resume gets shortlisted in the application tracking software. That's another element. So in both the cases, your resume is the first interface with the prospective recruiter. With this, you can understand the importance of this. Even in the campus drive, you must have seen your placement team, your placement heads, your career team, right, might be asking, please come with 5 or 10 copies of the resume for the that particular day because they want you to be ready with the resume. But what is the purpose of resume? Do you even know that? You are providing lot of pointers to the recruiters on the questions that they can ask. We'll see how. Okay. Your resume is not a biodata. I'm assuming some of you might be knowing the difference between biodata and a resume. Biodata is more of a personal part, resume or CV, whatever you may call it. So don't get confused with whether it's a CV or a resume. Nobody is going to ask. That's the theoretical question. Leave it there, right? You call it CV, you call it resume, whatever you may call. At the end of the day, this is what you need to get shortlisted for the interview call. Okay. It should not be more than 2 pages. Maximum length is 2 pages. Try to have within 1 page. 2 pages if you have too many projects or too many internships to discuss. Okay. What is the outcome of a resume? Right? As we were discussing just now. First is you are shortlisted for the interview in the off-campus drive. And second is common for both the part, which is you are providing the pointers for the interviewer to ask questions on. These are the two biggest thing that a resume is used for. I'm assuming most of you must be have some idea, right? The importance of resume and for what purpose resume is used by your prospective recruiters. Difference between campus versus off campus. Also, right? What kind of pointers the recruiter will get from your resume. If any questions coming to your mind, please keep writing in the chat window. We'll try to answer in the end, or maybe we'll take up if something I am able to read then and there. I'll try to reply immediately. If not, I'll definitely try to answer all the questions in the end. Okay. So sometimes what happens while going through the slides or when you hear something, some questions come to your mind. Please don't stop. Please start typing in the chat window and keep asking whatever comes to your mind. Any clarification you need, right? You'll not be able to stop, but definitely I'll try to answer this. Now, the key sections. What things you can include in your resume? Definitely your name along with the contact details. Contact details does not mean you need to put complete address. We'll discuss in detail further. Okay. Something about yourself which you want, maybe a brief para, 2 to 3 lines at the most, where you can tell about yourself, who you are, what skills you bring, what passion you bring, what is it that you have done in past. A very brief summary, a very high level summary of that, right? Your internship, your jobs, if any, mention those part. Shweta, if you this is for the freshers only. Most of the freshers might have done internship. Most of the freshers might have done some project. If you're not done any project, something is drastically wrong with you. So mention about the projects in that case. Okay. Yeah, Shweta, we'll discuss the pointers part. We'll discuss that part. Okay. So about your internship, your jobs, if any that you have done, your college projects. From pointer 2 and 3 and 4, these two, right? At least one of the things must be there, right? Some of your accomplishments, achievements, again the relevant one. Right? You might be getting upset too much of relevance, but relevant is very important. I'll show an example also. Okay, your accomplishments, your achievements, your professional certificates, if you have any, your academic qualifications, mention those part. Tools, software knowledge, whatever you want to mention, basic, advanced, whatever it is. And there could be some job specific things which you might have to share depending on whatever is written in the job description. Extracurricular and personal details totally optional. Again, if you see a need, something which might interest the recruiter, you can include those things. Okay. These are some of the sections which you must include in your resume. Any questions on the sections? Please type in the chat window. You want more details or whether to have, so not everybody may have all the sections in the resume, but maximum you have, better it is. Okay, so me as an individual, I always prefer detail of your internship, your jobs, your college projects. These are the most relevant part for any recruiter. This might be related to your future job and the activities that you might have done. Okay. So, any questions on the key section from anyone? Any questions from anyone? Okay. So, let's move on in that case. Some of the do's, right? In many resume, what we see is you mention your contact details, but most of you don't mention the location you are from. Whether you are from Pune, you are from Delhi, you are from Punjab, you are from Jalandhar, wherever, right? Most of you miss out mentioning the resume in the your location part. This is a very important aspect, especially when you're applying for jobs offline, the direct company jobs or the off-campus jobs, where a recruiter need to see which location you are from. This could be that important decision for them to call for interview or not. Okay, some of you even miss out the phone number, some of you even miss out the email id. And email id, we see many funky examples, right? uh, Romeo number one, cracky jacks. Guys, please create some professional resume id. Don't use your email id which are used for personal things. So create a professional resume id and mention those in your resume. Okay. About yourself, we'll see what can be included in the about yourself. Internship, if you have done some internship, please mention that. Otherwise, project must be there, so project should be there in that part. Your relevant achievements. Okay, so after this slide, we'll discuss the relevant part. What is it that relevant I'm referring to? Your skills, competencies, again, relevant part. Any idea what did this independent review means? Right, helping each other. We are happy. Our education system teaches only to work as an individual, not to work in teams. Okay. As an example, if Shweta writes a resume and Shraddha reviews her resume, okay, and she gives the feedback, right? Both of you can do at least for each other, right? One person writing, another person reviewing. If you are not getting a chance to get feedback from the experts, right? Take each other's help. An independent review always helps. It always helps, right? So take help from each other. This way, you both end up learning. The person who is reviewing, the person who is giving the feedback, and the person to whom the feedback is given. You both end up learning in that way. Okay. Create multiple resumes. As I was discussing a few minutes back, Do not stick to one resume. If you're applying for marketing job, create a different resume. If you're applying for HR job, create a different resume. If you're applying for software developer, create a different resume. Stop doing forwarding the same resume for multiple jobs. Okay. I'm assuming most of you might be knowing Hindi. दिमाग में आ रहा होगा सर एक रिज्यूमे तो बनता नहीं है आप और इतने सारे रिज्यूमेस की बात करते हो कहाँ से बनाएंगे बट अगेन इफ यू हैव टू गेट द जॉब इफ यू वांट टू गेट शॉर्टलिस्टेड रिज्यूमे तो बनाना पड़ेगा उसके बिना गुजारा नहीं है राइट especially for the off campus. The real because not all the big companies might be coming to your colleges. Then how to reach out to the big companies? You have to reach on your own. And if you're reaching on your own, your resume will speak first, then you yourself. And for you to get a chance to speak at the interview table, your resume plays a very important role here. So, any questions on the do's part? Maybe you can type in the chat window. I'll try to answer. Meanwhile, let me do something else. I was talking about the relevancy part. So, let me share few examples on the relevancy. I'm assuming you're able to see the LinkedIn. I'm opening a job. Okay. So, let's open this job. No, this is not relevant for you, but the purpose of opening the job is different. So I scroll to bottom where do you see the skills part? Okay, I click here. Can you see the skills associated with this job, this section part? This is one example. Okay, the skills are budgeting, coaching, skill agent framework, conversion optimization, conversion rate. These are the key skills which are linked to this particular job. So these are the keywords that the software which I was referring to, application tracking system. These are the keywords which the application tracking system might be looking at. So all these words should be present in your resume. That's the first case. Okay, let's take one more example. Okay, let's go to the Naukri site. I search for jobs. I just say marketing. I scroll down and make the experience as 0. I'm assuming you are all are able to see. Now experience as 0. What's happening? Yes, now experience is 0. So you can see one example here. Let's open, say, digital marketing expert. Let's open this one. Job highlights. Must have knowledge of Google Ads, LinkedIn ads, Facebook, Instagram ads. Okay, so these are the keywords which I see in the highlights. Okay, I scroll down further. Excellent communication skills, writing skills, problem solving skills, investment, planning, content creation, content management. These are the words which I am getting from the job description and highlights. More these words you add in your resume, more relevant your resume is. You got some idea what does the word relevance means? Ashish, when you're applying for software engineer, uh, here also software engineer has multiple requirements. Somebody is looking for a Python developer, somebody is looking for a .NET, somebody is for Java, somebody is looking for assembly language. So those are the keywords you should be looking into. Let's see an example directly here. Okay, instead of me talking about this, let me open it. Okay, so let me open. I'm saying programmer. I make experience as 0. So let's see one example as this. They are looking for someone with experience in the payment system, financial sector. They have not mentioned anything about here it is, right? They're looking for Java, Spring, and web services. That's what they're looking forward. Let's see one more example. Ray programmer. Okay. Here they are looking for person having experience on the SOPs, right? Just see a completely different job description for two different programmer jobs. Okay. So Ashish, you got some idea? Each job description is different. So more customization you do, more relevant you make your resume, more are the chances for resume to get shortlisted for the interview calls. So is this point clear to most of you, right? How do you customize your resume by adding the relevant keywords from the job description and the skills mentioned into the job? This is very important aspect, keeping the application tracking system in mind and also the words that recruiters are looking forward to when they shortlist the candidate for the interview. So you need to keep all these things in mind to make your resume a relevant one. Okay. Any more questions? You can type into the chat window. I'll be happy to reply. Okay. So we are clear with the do's part. Let's move on to the don'ts part. There is no need to provide complete address, right? That gully number this, behind that. No recruiter is coming to your home. Okay. Location is more than enough. Percentage, it's kind of optional. If you have something to highlight, if you're 95% and above, 90% and above, you want to highlight, it makes sense. If you are a mediocre, who is asking your percentage? Nobody's asking for a percentage. 60, 70, 80. Well, why to highlight this part? Stop doing that part. Don't mention your childhood memories, right? Participated in class 1 competition, participated in class 2 competition, Rangoli competition, drawing competition, right? Ramayana competition, Mahabharat competition. No one is interested in those elements. Okay. These days, most of you are still writing objective. There's nothing about that. More than objective, write something about yourself. That's more relevant than objective itself. Objective is a complete copy paste. Most of you even don't remember what have you written in the objective. Sometimes we ask what is written in the objective. More than 50% students are not able to answer, right? Because they even don't know what they have written. They've copy pasted it. So don't do that. So these are some of the things which you need to keep in mind in the don't section. Any questions on do's and don'ts? Type in the chat window. I'll be happy to reply. I'm trying to answer questions which are coming then and there. Okay, so pointer Shraddha point is still remaining. Shweta is done. We're done with part. Okay, so let's see an example of a gift packing. Okay, there are two examples. One is this: you are receiving a gift packed like this versus receiving a gift which is packed like this. Is there any difference between the two? Definitely, there is a difference. Okay. But we're only talking about the gift packing. We're not talking about what the gift is all about. Okay, very much possible that your parents, right, may not be spending enough time for the packing part. They might be giving very expensive gifts, something which is you were looking forward to. They might not invest that much time and money, but again, they are the one who knows you, right? Think of the gift you are getting from maybe during your marriage, right? We even miss out who the gift who's the one who gave the gift part, right? There, the packing, we get attracted to the packing. Hey, it looks nice packing. By default, it gets our attention, irrespective of the gift part. And this presentation matters even in the resume. And what is it that you need to present? Let's talk about that. Right? Which font you need to use? These are some of the fonts which you can use. The Calibri, Arial, Cambria, right? Avoid fancy fonts. Times New Roman also not very great. It looks bit clumsy. My preference is these three fonts. They look very polished. There are many other fonts, but I don't recommend using because not all the software may support those fonts. There are some company specific fonts which are not even supported. So these are free fonts, easily available. Okay, you don't have to buy. So try using any of these three fonts. The sections part, the heading part, right? The font size can be anything between 12 to 14. The text of the font size can be anything between 10 to 12. Try to deliver in a PDF, not a Word. Any idea why? Any idea why we are saying that try to share a PDF of your resume and not the Word file? The biggest reason is sometimes you end up using the fonts which are not supported in other software. Okay, or you have done some formatting which may get haywired when somebody opens in a Word file. At least when you're sharing the PDF, the formatting and the fonts, they don't change. Okay, and if you're using these fonts, chances are fonts will be retained, but there could be, you might be using some text box or some bullets which formatting get haywired when you are using a Word file. Try to share the PDF, not a Word file. Okay. Color, don't use more than two colors. Preference is one. My preference of the color is always black and blue. Don't use yellow, red, orange, green, these kind of colors. Right? You're not a designer. You're simple. Don't use colors. Okay. Spacing, single line or 1.5, not more than. Sometimes I've seen students are using two, spacing of two also. In case you don't know what the spacing means, there is a paragraph option within the word. From paragraph, you can see the spacing part. Okay, so don't have too much spacing. Don't have a border also. Many students create the borders, fancy lines, this part. The problem is not just that it doesn't look good. Second part, if it is uh, used in an application tracking system, which is a software, because of that formatting, because of those customized design, the keywords will get lost and you miss out the chances. Shraddha, if you are using the canvas templates, the problem is uh, the canvas template simple versus canvas template with the border design part. Okay, it may, for the companies where they are not using application tracking system, you get good views. But if the organization is using application tracking system, canvas template will go haywire. For application tracking system software, canvas template always miss out the keywords. Okay, canvas template is best only when it is used by the directly viewed by the individual or a human being, not by the software. Okay, it does get attention, but similar things you can also do in MS Word also. Okay, but again, don't make too much fancy, too much jazzy. Avoid multiple columns. More than two columns is more than enough. Okay, so these are some of the things you need to keep in mind. Okay, so this is about the presentation, and that's why we say presentation matters. If you're showing this way versus this way, right, you can put all these things in your software. Okay, very important when you're forwarding, when you're applying for the job applications online, stop forwarding same resume for different roles. Stop forwarding resume without cover letter. We are not discussing cover letter here, but don't send any resume without a cover letter. Okay, so that's very important part of the online job applications, which is especially for the off-campus placements, not for the campus drives. Okay, so we covered few more aspects on the presentation: do's, don'ts, key sections. Any questions? Please feel free to type in the chat window. Few more tips. Resume, we have discussed multiple times. It is must for off-campus jobs because this is the first interface with your prospective recruiter. Okay, create customized resume for different jobs. I displayed two examples for marketing and software things, right? How you can customize your resume. Always apply with the cover letter, 1 to 3 paras. We are not discussing cover letter. Just Google it, you'll figure out what is cover letter all about. Always update job description with the keywords. I just discuss what the keywords are, how you can update, and what all to include, how to figure out the keywords. We discuss in detail. Okay, don't lie. Many of you do that. Don't lie. A recruiter is smart enough, he or she may not tell you that he had caught your lie, but this could be the rejection reason for without any problem. Okay, so never ever lie. Minimize the jargons. Some English people keep adding some funky jargons, and sometimes I see attended a course on marketing strategy, market, or attending a course on HR management, on team management. And when we ask the questions on those topics which are mentioned in the resume, we get a reply, "Sir, that was 3 years back. I even forgot." Guys, if you even don't remember why even you're writing in the resume, somebody was asking question, the pointers part. That's how we get the pointers. You mentioned about a project. You never worked on a project. When we ask the question about the project, you say, "Sir, I was not even part of the project. He was my friend. He asked me. I just copy pasted his project." That's how we get the pointers from your resume because our questions are based on your resume and the reply that you are giving. We don't come up with a list of questions ready to be asked. These are the two things which we use to ask the questions. So minimize those jargons so that you give only the relevant pointers to us on which you want us to ask the questions. Okay, avoid copy paste. I just gave you the example. Sir, I copied my friend's project and just added that part. I even don't know what the project is all about. Don't do that. Okay, take help from resume experts. If there is an option, do take their help. But most of the resume experts are only English language people. They will not be able to tell you what to highlight, how to highlight, or what is it that you should be putting into. Right? They can give them just fancy jargons, nothing more than that. But at least they can give you an independent feedback on that. For me, more than that part, take help from your friends, take help from your teachers, and more than the teachers, maybe take help from the professionals, right? If there is an opportunity. And presentation matters, it matters a lot, right? The look and feel does matter. Okay, so keep all these things in mind, and chances are you end up creating a resume which catches the recruiter attention, and your profile gets shortlisted for the interview in your dream organization. Any more questions from anyone? What is the difference between job description and job specifications? These are the two different terms. Uh, the industry standard is job description. Specifications are the details, further details. The highlight is the job description. Good question. Okay. Now, once your profile is shortlisted, what next? Any idea what next? Definitely, you'll get an interview call, right? And for this, you need to prepare for interview also. Are you doing that? Are you having any comprehensive training for the interview? It's not about attending a class of an interview where somebody tell, that's how you reply for tell me about yourself, that's how you should reply, and then tell me about yourself, what they say. Like, I am this, I'm from this location, I did my schooling from here, college from here, my father lived there, my mother lived there, I have two sisters, three brothers. Who want these things? Nobody want these things. What they want, I don't know. Then how will you reply? You don't know. Have you seen anybody learning swimming just by reading books? Have you seen anybody becoming a cooking expert just by reading books? At the end of the day, you need to jump into the water. At the end of the day, you need to stand in the kitchen and do your hand dirty. And that will take long time before you become a good swimmer. It will take long time before you become a good cook. Similarly, it takes long time before you can answer confidently to the interviewer. It doesn't happen by attending one or two classes. It doesn't happen by attending one or two mock interviews. Practice, practice, practice is the only key. You have to do that. There is no shortcut to that. Nobody can sit on behalf of you to attend the interview. Nobody can even give you the feedback after the interview. If recruiter is taking the interview, who is there to come and tell this is what you did wrong? Will recruiter come and tell that this is what you did wrong? You improve this way, you practice this way? No one will do that. You are alone in that battle. You are alone in that battle. And here also, you can take great help from your friends. And we are trying to create such small groups where all of you can learn together and practice interviews. And if you are interested in attending those interview sessions and part of those groups, you are most welcome, right? Where we will try all of you to practice, practice, practice. Recently, we completed one batch. It was a great success, and students were found the things which were not even told to them till date. They were not even habitual of even discussing those things because nobody informed them. It's not their fault. So somebody had to tell, only then they will come to know about this part. Okay. So very soon we'll be starting another batch on the interview preparation. If you are interested, you're most welcome to join that part. And you can even create a group within your own college for the interview preparation, and we'll try to address as many things in the interviews part, so that once your profile is shortlisted, you are able to clear your interview confidently, right? And we are working on that, and very soon we'll be able to have a good match. So I'm sharing the links if any of you are interested. This is the WhatsApp channel which we have created. Here is the Race Career Club, which is a Facebook group. You are most welcome to be part of this. And in case you are not part of the WhatsApp group for the resume writing, you can join this also. And this is the main page of our society, which is the Race Society. So you're most welcome to join any of these to stay updated for our future courses and future trainings. And we'll continue on this journey for a long, long time. Any more questions from anyone on the resume part? We are happy to reply. And if no questions, then maybe let's move on to a few more slides and cover that part. Uh, Thank you very much all for joining in. I hope this was something helpful and you came to know something different. Was there anything which you find different? What you knew till date? Was there any learning you want to share? Any questions you want to ask? If you want to join our WhatsApp channel, I've shared the link. If you want to join our Facebook group, I've shared the link. And if you have any questions, you're most welcome to type it and we are happy to reply. Shraddha, I think your question is answered. All your questions are answered. Ashish, I think your question is also answered. Let me see who else. Shweta, I think your question is answered. If we are fresher, should we mention this or not? And yeah, okay. Aditi, you mentioned I want to know should I start doing internship? Aditi, nobody stopping you, right? Go for the online internship. I give one example. One student find an internship with a US based NGO for a cancer organization. She was working from India. Okay, and she was in first year. So perfectly fine. There is nobody stopping you from the internship. More you learn, right? This way you will have more and more exposure of different fields. Guys, keep in mind you are too young to decide which career, which line you should opt for. Many people says that most of you are smart. Yes, agreed, you are smart. But thing is, you don't have the exposure. Whether HR is fit for you, the marketing is fit for you, or the software development is fit for you, recruitment is fit for you, you don't know unless you experiment and try those. So during internship, try different roles so that you get an exposure and you can take a call by the time you complete your graduation or masters, right? Which field or which type of job you want to do. Those who are doing BTech computer science, not everybody will become a software developer. Then what all job options you have? Most of the times students who are just doing BA, BSc, BCom, they're always confused what job. Guys, understand, more than 80% jobs does not require any formal qualification. I am into the software line for last 30 years. I don't have any software degree. I don't have a B. I don't have BTech. I don't have BCA, MCA. No computer degree I have. And I'm not the only one. There are thousands of more people who are not having any formal qualification in computer. And there are thousands of people who are having computer qualification and they're not working in software line. But what all options you have? You need to figure out. You need to this internship is the best way. Join some NGOs also. You can do that also. This way you will come to know different fields which are available. Even NGOs are becoming rewarding because many big organizations are hiring people for the CSR, the corporate social responsibilities. These things can help you a lot. Great. I think Shraddha, what question was that which is not answered? Okay, last question I would like to address few basic questions which are asked by the interviewer. So, Shraddha, we this session is for the resume. We'll have a separate session for the interviews part. So we'll take up in that session part, right? Let's focus on the resume now. If you have any question on the resume part, we'll very soon we'll be starting a session on the interview. Then we'll try to address this part. Okay. Any more questions? If yeah, so I already responded to that. Any more questions from anyone on any of the points related to the resume? Okay, and if you liked something, if you learned something, please do click the like button and do share your feedback. Do join the groups which are there to stay updated. Do join our WhatsApp channel, the Facebook group. All the links are there. If you want, I can share those again. And do click the like button to stay updated and this will motivate us also to conduct more such sessions. Thank you so much, and all the best for a great career to all of you. Happy writing, and you can ask your questions later also, and we'll try to answer. All the very best. Have a great evening, great weekend, and all the very best for a great career.